419 with Gretchen DeBacker, Matt Killam, and Kevin Mullen.
Welcome into the 419, powered by WGTE, presented by Witro Wealth Management. I'm Kevin Mullen.
Gretchen DeBacker.
Matt Killam.
It is a Toledo.com community calendar Thursday, where we take a look at top 5 events in the area coming up for this weekend. And we've got, I don't know, I can't say a friend of the show, because it's her first time on the show, but a friend of all of ours.
In life. Yeah.
A friend in
Very smooth.
life. Yeah.
No need to practice these.
No.
Yeah, that's right. Andi Roman from Imagination Station is going to join us and talk about King Tut. And did I hear you say that she's going to quiz us?
Yes. I've been advised that they will be giving us, Andi will be giving us a quiz about Egypt.
Are you dressed
and/or
like
King
this?
Tut.
honoring King Tut's death?
I am. I was in, yes.
Yeah, you're in mourning. Yeah.
The all black is,
A sad
Well done.
anniversary.
I wanted to be able to wear my necklace that I got in Egypt.
Matt, do you remember in school when only one of the students would be aware of the test and then just and knew and so could study? And
No one
maybe,
can prove that I have the questions and have studied and done the research. No
and
one
maybe
can prove that.
visited
Yeah.
Egypt?
Yeah.
Like, this past summer. So, this will be great. It's going to be real good for you and I.
A live quiz, no problem. We're gonna nail
Geography is not my strong suit to begin with.
Yeah,
What
no,
was your school's
geography is
strong
not my
suit?
strong suit.
I don't know
Yeah.
that I had one.
Okay.
No, I enjoy math. I did like math.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
But when I was in college, it was anything in my major, in communications, video production, things like that, I was all in on. I got a 4.0 in my
wow.
major. I did not get a 4.0 in college. So all the science stuff was just bad. I tell my kids laugh at me. I tell them I should be a botanist. I took botany twice.
Because you flunked it?
Twice.
Yeah.
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 No, you
I
gotta nail
switched
both
my
times.
major so that I wouldn't have to take statistics after trying it. I was like, well, I can't.
There's a John Mulaney or Nate Bargatze classic bit on this, but I promise you, I long had this routine because I tested into 070 math, which is a rarity because the first thing isn't even a number, it's a letter. And all we did, my memory is, we took change out of our pocket and counted it.
They taught you how to tell time.
and identify what was money and what was buttons.
You're saying that like normally it's like math 100,
That's right.
200,
Yeah.
and you were in math 070.
With an O.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even in the nines.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh
That's
my
right,
goodness, amazing. Yeah. No, I made the mistake of when I failed a class, ideally you take that class again, but my thought was like, well, I attended half the classes last semester. If I magically attend the different half this semester, I will have attended all of them.
Not another half to make it full, just a different half.
A different half.
I got very familiar.
I do remember though the math class. If you remember, they're like, whenever you said, "Oh, can I use my calculator?" They're like, "We're not going to be able to have a computer with you all the time."
Yeah.
And boy, have the times changed. Yeah, we
Now
don't have to think
there's
on our
one
own
on
at
your
all.
That's right.
Yeah.
We just chat GPT our way
It
through all of this.
paid off to be completely stupid.
Yeah. And then, so Andi's going to be on the show,
Yes.
talk about cool things that are happening at Imagination Station. And then also, we're going to get you some dating advice
Yeah.
Me personally?
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions.
Okay.
about Gretchen.
You two are no longer dating, I assume?
I don't know that I need dating advice. I feel like my wife would not want me to get dating advice.
I don't know.
You know what?
Yeah.
She called in.
Yeah. Danny's like, play the field, please, God.
See what else is out there.
Oh, goodness gracious. There's no chance I do better. No
Agreed.
chance.
That's true.
That's the truth.
Absolutely. All right, we got an exciting show for you here. We're going to take a look at our Toledo.com top 5 events when we come back here on the 419. Powered by WGTE, presented by Witro Wealth Management.
Support for the 419 comes from Witro Wealth Management, where we understand that your financial path is personal. Advisory services are offered through Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. More information at WitroAdvisors.com.
The 419, powered by WGTE, is made possible in part by supporters like you. Thank you.
Introducing The Local Thread, a community news series uniting voices and storytellers from across the region. In partnership with La Prensa, the Toledo Free Press, the Sojourner's Truth, Toledo Public Schools, and veteran journalist Jerry Anderson, The Local Thread brings you stories and conversations that connect our community. Hear it weeknights at 7 on FM 91 with early access on podcast platforms each morning. The Local Thread, only on WGTE.
Welcome back into the 419. We are joined now by Andi Norman. Every time I want to, and here's I want to say Andi Roman, but I
refuse
Andi
to
Roman.
say Norman.
Yeah, correct.
Because I only know as Roman.
Right.
I don't even
No
know
offense
this.
to your husband.
I don't even know this. Were you originally Norman?
No.
No, Andi Norman
is a completely separate
person. I used to get quoted Andi Norman. She would get quoted Andi Roman.
Yeah.
Worked for two separate organizations.
But there was another individual. This wasn't just a misprint.
Now we need
Andi
to get
Roman
her on the
tie.
show.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll give you the
Unfortunately,
hyphenated.
she passed. I get Killiam all the time.
Killiam?
Yes. Yeah. At events, Tim, like, man, you know you've made it.
My first job in radio, I was trying to get hired at what was then Clear Channel.
Okay.
And sent in their resumes. I was the announcer for the Mud Hens at the time, so I felt like I had a pretty good shot of getting hired to do something on air, and couldn't get a call, anything. And I remember calling the station, and I was like, you know what? I know who I need to talk to. I'm just going to ask for him like I'm supposed to talk to him. So I was like, hey, it's Kevin Mullen, can I talk to Bill Michaels? And they passed me on to Bill Michaels, and Bill's like, hey, Kevin, how's it going? Like, excited to hear from me, and we're talking.
Yeah.
The conversation lasted a couple of minutes.
Sure.
And he goes, wait, who is this?
Yeah.
And I said, it's Kevin Mullen. And he goes, oh, they told me.
Who is this?
They told me it was Kevin Milliken.
Oh.
And I was like, first of all, the fact that you take his call and not mine, I
Every
am
time
offended.
I see Kevin Milliken's post on my feed, I think, why did Kevin Mullen post that?
Yeah.
Then
I
read
get
to go,
confused
oh, it's
all
Kevin.
the time.
Yeah.
We're doing what we're doing again.
Yeah.
We are far too comfortable, far too fast. Your name is Lori Hauser. That's what it says right here. Yeah. Lori, let me tell you something. You look great.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Andi, what's your role at Imagination Station?
I am the marketing director.
And what is the Imagination Station?
You know, you can use your imagination to come up with all sorts of amazing things to do there.
It is exactly that kind of imagination that put this outfit together. Yeah. Are you into mines? Who isn't?
I forgot my white gloves.
Yeah.
Well, I heard you were going to go kind of the Egyptian.
I just had
King
my
Tut.
Egyptian necklace on. So
I see that.
That's it.
It's very lovely.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So you are a veteran not only of marketing, working for Mud Hens and other locations, but you're also a veteran of television and radio.
Do you have notes for us?
Yeah, what's your tip, assuming you've listened to?
Don't wear white.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
here I am.
See?
Yeah.
Again,
Nailed
I'm
it.
correct.
You
Yeah.
guys look lovely.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So
You
one
are
of the
fun.
things that we're excited about, one of the events that's coming up at Imagination Station, you guys bring in some rotating exhibits, and there's a big one that's opening this weekend. It's one of our top 5 events of the weekend with Toledo.com. So we thought we'd have you come on and talk a little bit more about it.
Okay, so what's it called?
It's called Tutankhamun's something.
That's right.
I wanted to hear you say,
Yeah.
you know, how I think the hardest thing about this exhibit is saying the title.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tutankhamun.
Gretchen struggled with the Lego one, saying that. So in fairness, this is not the show for that.
The Lego exhibit
This is a big year for
was amazing.
Legos, King Tut, which I'm going to
Yes.
butcher, and you also have Star Wars this
We
year.
do.
So
and
it's a huge year.
It's a huge year.
I'm
We have
really excited for
Unofficial
you.
Galaxies
Yeah.
coming in May.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow,
All right.
okay.
So yes, Tutankhamun, Treasures of a Pharaoh, is opening on Friday,
Yeah.
and we're so excited.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful exhibit. It's a little bit different than Lego, you know, where there was a pit of 200,000 Legos that you could create amazing things.
This one has a pit of snakes.
Yeah, that's right.
This one's filled with, you know,
Save that for the
just
dating.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
126 replica artifacts.
Oh, wow.
And it's just really cool. It's divided into 5 areas, and you can basically, the first area is like you see what Howard Carter saw when he walked down into the tomb and saw it totally
That's cool.
there. It was just amazing.
Andy, let me ask you sort of a nerdy question. These things, we have the luxury as Lucas County residents and a far-reaching range than just that in terms of your visitorship, but they don't just happen, right? A van doesn't just pull up and like, hey, next weekend, you guys want us to put these things out? How do you plan this? What is the market for these traveling? How does this function for the?
How many team meetings have you had to get ready?
Oh, we have a lot of team meetings. We think about what would interest the community.
Sure.
You know, sometimes it's pop culture, but there's always a education factor to it,
Sure.
because that's what Imagination Station is. It's fun, it's hands-on, and then there's also the learning aspect. You know, there's education guides that teachers can use with all of our exhibits. So it's going to be really fun to see the things that the kids pull out of King Tut, because it truly is the things that he was buried with.
Yeah. How do you know what's out there?
We have a team that investigates. Looks into the different areas. I mean, it runs everything from like magic to nature.
Yeah.
You know.
What's the wackiest thing that you decided not to bring? Do you have one that sticks out? You're like, this is a weird thing. We're not doing it.
That's a hard question. I think Lori would have a better answer for that.
Well, she was too good to come on the show.
Yeah, so you're stuck with me.
Yeah, she's a self-absorbed monster. You heard it here first, folks.
On its surface, I mean, to me, this sounds like an exhibit that I would expect to see at the Art Museum, not an Imagination Station. What makes this a fit for you guys? Because and maybe it's just the fact that it's King Tut that I just assume like this is like.
Well, I think it will bring a new audience to Imagination Station. Everyone always thinks of us as just a kids' science center, but it's really for everyone. There was a couple in over the weekend, and she posted on TikTok her boyfriend riding the bike.
Yeah.
And I mean, it got 8 million views.
What?
You're kidding me.
Yeah, so I mean, the fun is for everyone. So I'm hoping that King Tut draws in everyone and just kind of brings that atmosphere and then lets them travel into the Science Center to really relive what they lived when
Is
they
Steve
were.
Martin performing at the opening this weekend?
Oh, I wish.
That would be so
Gonna
cool.
sing this.
So,
sing this
you
song.
know,
We hired Matt instead
That's right.
to dress up like Steve.
Poor man, Steve Martin.
that's right, poor man's everything. But I will tell you that the Imagination Station is near and dear to me, not just because of my love for Lori and you. My Momo, who is 6, Imagination Station is her destination if asked.
Yes.
It's not our beloved park system or a wonderful museum or the zoo. It is the Imagination Station every other weekend. That is where she would go if asked.
That's awesome.
So I've just stopped asking.
Yeah, well, and we found like taking our kids, like, I mean, one, my wife and I have as much fun as they do.
Yeah.
We love it. And at every stage of
Yeah.
their development,
Yeah.
it's a different level of fun. And so it's like, you know, when they were really little, we'd go and they'd play with certain activities and engage. And it was like, you know, the bright colors and things
Sure.
like that fascinated them.
Yeah.
And now we can actually like start getting into more of the like science-based, like intelligent things.
Yeah.
There's I'm gonna get the room
Well, I
wrong.
mentioned
the exhibit
kids, that'll
wrong.
stop abruptly.
Yeah, that's right. No, they're definitely like.
It's starting to peak.
Luckily, they've got their
Yeah.
mom's brain.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah,
they
yeah.
tap out at about 4th grade.
Speaking of bright colors, I can't help but mention this Mennonite theme to Gretchen's outfit is absolutely apropos.
We got into like a whole
is.
like physics like Olympics basically with the family with different activities and different things to say like, all right, who can get I don't know, one of these spinning things with the metal, and it was like, who can get their wheel to spin the longest and who can balance the most on this, and it's like those kind of things are fun. And so I remember having the conversation with Lori on the podcast about how it's Toledo's Science Center, right? And really thinking about that this isn't just a destination, but it's truly a space for all of Toledo, and you guys got to become the science experts for all of us.
And the really cool thing is, and I didn't even realize this before I started working there, is we have a whole team of people that do outreach. It's our program team. They are educators. They are so intelligent, and they go out and they go into neighborhoods and classrooms that don't always get to come to the Science Center.
Yeah.
And they're bringing our tinkering vans into the communities and introducing concepts and learning in a way that goes, aha. And it could be as simple as learning how to use a drill. Where kids may not ever be able to learn that.
I might come to that.
And I mean, they're learning circuit boards and sewing and all sorts of different things. And it's just so cool. And I was like, I never realized the length that we go to. I mean, we were in 3 states last year delivering programming to, so when you're talking about Toledo Science Center, it's Toledo Region Science Center.
You also have the fabulous new Key Bank Theater, which is an amazing facility, movie theater. What do you do to incorporate that space into exhibits like the King Tut?
So we're doing, so first every day we show 3D films, education films, and they all come with education guides. So teachers, when they're signing up for it, they can look and do some training before they come to give their students quizzes, like I'm gonna do with you guys with Tut. But then we also do just regular movies. We do community conversations. So we're using that as a platform in other ways, and we're going to be showing A Night at the Museum.
Oh,
So
good.
fun.
So fun. What a good idea.
The 20th of February.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a flashlight tour of the exhibit first. So it's going to be dark, and we're going to have flashlights, and we're going to be doing guided tours, teaching them about what they're seeing. And
That's a great idea.
Yeah, very
So-
fun.
When is that?
the February 20th.
February 20th.
Make sure you get that in the calendar, Matt.
When does this exhibit open?
It opens Friday.
Awesome.
So do you want to start the quiz?
Sure.
Oh.
No peeking.
Yes, no, I realized what I was looking at, so I will not be answering the first question.
But you don't know what the first question is.
Number 9.
So,
How's the reading going?
the reading's going.
Yeah,
So
okay.
let's.
More of a science
Okay,
lady
so
than
since you already know the question number 1, at what age did he become pharaoh? Did King Tut become pharaoh?
9 years old.
9 years old. And how many years did he rule?
10.
Wow. All right.
You just keep going. Let us know if you want us to be
How did you
involved.
know that?
I went
She was
to,
just in Egypt.
I was in Egypt
Yeah,
last year,
well,
and I'm
yeah.
a travel nerd. And we went to the Valley of Kings and
that's-
saw the
The tomb?
Yeah,
tomb,
dude,
yes.
what's
All
the
right,
next
so
question?
that was
Yeah.
the
Let's
question.
see
Where was King Tut buried?
the Valley of Kings.
Fremont, Ohio.
And then for $200,
Yeah.
Oh.
Here's the
what
big one.
is his tomb number?
Oh, don't know that.
6, 7.
19.
Done.
KV 62.
I was close. I
Yeah,
was
that
close.
was my second
It's only
math
off
class
by
in college.
KV5.
Yeah.
So how many rooms did King Tut have in his tomb?
You were there.
Some of them are blocked off. I'm going to say 7.
15.
Yeah, there were 22.
There were 4.
4.
So he wasn't considered a major king.
Well, don't say that now.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
we know the most about him, but most kings had over 100 chambers, and he had 4.
It's very
Okay.
incredibly impressive when you go there.
Is it
because
large?
it's a mountain, and they, with their hands and small tools, just dug in and made fully square rooms like under these mountains. It's amazing.
Yeah, I want to cut you off because that wasn't interesting. Amy, can I ask you a question? And this might be unfair, put you on the spot, but why do we know the most about King Tut?
Because Howard Carter, he searched for this tomb for 5 years
Okay.
and was about ready to give up. He was working with an English financier, and they extended him a year. Like the next day, he found the tomb, and it was intact.
It was the most intact
Okay.
tomb, and that head, that very world famous King Tut solid gold head that was a part of his tomb was, and it was just, this was in 1925-ish.
Yes,
23, something
23.
like that. It was just became a worldwide story. He just
Okay.
became wildly famous.
Sure.
Even though he was a kid, and he
kid
didn't do that much for Egypt during his reign, but this is why he's the most famous.
Right.
I mean, I'm just thinking about my own children. Like, my 10-year-old, there's no chance he could rule.
Yeah.
Like, not.
So,
that
the
would
show
be-
is
yeah,
going
that
to be
would be.
safe. Okay.
But the 8-year-old,
Yeah.
watch out.
Yeah.
All right.
You can
Yeah.
do it now.
Yeah.
Miles could absolutely.
Yeah.
When he learns about King Tut, I don't know that I want to take him, because he's gonna be like, oh, wait a second,
Yeah, he's like,
I can start setting laws
yeah.
Yeah.
at
So-
9. This is what I
Talk to
can
me
do.
more about this public execution. Yeah. All
Oh
right.
my goodness. People if they want more information about. Oh, you have more questions.
That's okay.
No, do it.
We have time for one more.
One more.
One more?
Rapid fire. Let's do it. I want Matt to get one right.
How long is the show?
Sorry. How many total number of artifacts?
Are you having in the exhibit or exist
Or were
in the
found.
world?
Oh, that were found and that we have in the exhibit.
127.
We have 126 in the exhibit, and over 5,000 were found in the tomb. It took Howard Carter 10 years to catalog everything.
Poor Mrs.
Wow.
Carter. Can you imagine what a drag?
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much. If people want more information on this exhibit, where can they find it?
ImaginationStationToledo.org.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Imagination Station is such an incredible place. I mean, again, I think we all have our own memories there. Being able to go, I love going to like special events there as well.
Me
Like
too.
it's cool when you get a chance to
brewery-
get invited late.
brewery event.
So
I love
All right.
shopping for hours.
You want to hang out with us when we come back? We'll
I
talk
love
about
hanging out with you.
We'll talk about the Toledo.com top 5 events of the weekend, just one of which is King Tut's Treasures of the Pharaoh's Tomb. Did I get that right?
Well, it's Tutankhamun.
Sure. I'm not going to say that.
You're not on
It's the 419.
Don't be a
We'll
snob,
be
Andy.
right back.
To me, community means connecting to others.
I'm Donnie Miller, and welcome to The Point.
I love CBS Kids!
We're a community committed to education. Discover new ideas, dive into exciting subjects, and engage with the world around you.
I would send them personally a t-shirt. Crime doesn't pay in the old West End, pass it on. That's how we cleaned up the neighborhood.
Vision loss for people is not the end.
It's a story, it's the next chapter.
WGTE Public Media invites you to Get Out and Play Day.
Monday through Friday, it's the 419 powered by WGTE. With Matt Killam, Gretchen DeBacker, I'm Kevin Mullen. What can people expect on the show?
It's going to be an hour, a reminder of why this is a great place to live, work, and play.
WGTE, where you come to watch, listen, and learn.
Welcome back into the 419. It's time for our Toledo.com top 5 events of the weekend, driven by Tarda. What do we got? What's on the docket for
Top
this
of the
weekend?
list. Top of the list. We've just been discussing the Tutankhamun exhibition opening, which is very difficult to say. That sentence is difficult to say. Beginning this Friday, January 30th. Andy, how long is that running?
It will be here for 3 months.
Okay. And we've already given the website, Imagination Station,
Toledo.org.
Toledo.org. Okay, the second event also happening in downtown Toledo this weekend is the 2026 Toledo Auto Show, also starting Friday on January 30th until February 1st.
Gretchen,
on
this is
Sunday.
one of your faves.
It is one of my favorites.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about what you like the most about it.
I like the dancing.
Yeah, these show tunes. Yeah.
Have you ever been to the auto show?
I think I went with my dad once.
Yeah.
But no, I have not.
So it's a cool event. Maybe my favorite part of the auto show isn't even actually like really the auto show itself. Okay. They do, the Toledo Auto Dealers have an event. It's their Toledo Auto Show Charity Gala, and the Auto Dealers United for Kids raises money for different nonprofits in the area. Connecting Kids to Meals, who, Wendy's been on the show.
Yeah, she's exceptional.
It's fantastic, great organization. They're one of the beneficiaries of several this year benefiting from that event. I just think those kind of things, like when we do, it's very Toledo, right? So we get a chance to show off some of the cool vehicles, get a chance to promote some great local owned businesses with the different car dealerships, and then also a chance to say, let's also support our community and give back to kids. So that's a cool piece of that. Of course, one way of supporting that is attending the auto
Supporting
show.
the auto show this weekend, and that's at the convention center. The third event is called Black Bach Live. This is at the new Live Arts Toledo location near the Stranahan, adjacent to the Stranahan Theater. Upstairs in the second floor, there's the Bob Bell studio, and they're having this series of smaller musicians, artists perform there, and it's sort of like almost like a bar cafe type vibe with small tables and chairs. There's an amazing, beautiful $250,000 piano that was donated to Live Arts Toledo, and Black Bach is a American pianist and composer, and so he'll be playing the piano as part of his performance. It's supposed to be very good. So we can get more information about that at liveartstoledo.com.
Also, that event is sponsored by Ums and Ands.
The Bob Bell Theater, that's the lower stage.
Yes, and it's like a fully lit, perfectly acoustically sound room. It's a very cool space, and they have bar and like food, snacks, and stuff you can get. So
It's an incredible. The new space is incredible.
Yeah, it really is. The third one is the Battle of I-475, UT women's basketball against Bowling Green on Saturday, January 31st. I believe it's at 2 o'clock, so that should be exciting. What's the take, Kevin? Do we think we're going to take that?
It is not at 2 o'clock.
It's
I was
not?
like, I don't think that's right.
Okay, well.
I think it's at 5 o'clock. Yeah, because the men play. The men play at. I think the men play at 2.
Okay.
Women play at 5. Maybe the men play at noon. I should have this all figured
Quite
out.
a show.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll have this all down by Saturday.
It's professional.
But yeah, so look, the men's team just had an incredibly exciting game against that team down south. Won with a late 3 by Leroy Blyden Jr., freshman, to go up by 1. Ended up kind of holding on for the win the last 8 seconds. Pretty incredible game, exciting, near full capacity. The women's games are always fun because I've said if you go to, I will say Todd Kowalczyk, the men's coach, doing a really good job of engaging the students in those games this year, more so than any year I've been a part of the program. But if you, on a normal day, go to a men's game and a women's game and close your eyes, you'd swear there's twice as many people at the women's games. And sometimes there are, because the fans are incredible, but
absolutely.
But they are rabid, and it is awesome. So it's a really cool atmosphere. My family loves going to the women's games, and Toledo is certainly having a rebuilding year, trying to find their way as Ginny continues to kind of like build the pieces of her team. Last year she really was coaching really Trish's team into her style. This is the first chance of her taking steps into her own, but it takes time to get that. But they play hard.
For sure.
And
she's great.
All bets are off in a rivalry game. So it doesn't matter, if one of the teams is, 20-0 and the other one's 0-20, when they play each other in the Toledo BG game, it's anybody's game.
Always a great matchup.
It is, and a very great atmosphere for that game in particular. If you want to spend all day Saturday doing sportsy things,
and we do,
which you might, some people might. Saturday night is the Toledo Walleye Bonefish Night. Just taking a quick glance at their website, I have no idea what that means.
So Toledo Walleye is a
he's gonna
hockey
try to
team.
explain it to me.
Yeah.
I did know that.
Yeah.
I did know that. I don't know what a bonefish is, Matt.
A bonefish is certainly a type of fish. They fish for them in Florida, is my memory of this, but that's all I got.
Andy, you're a walleye hockey fan.
I am, yes. My guess is it's just a really cool jersey with a skeleton.
That's what I was going to
fish
say.
on it.
If you look at the website, they have mugs, t-shirts, hats, all with this cool.
And it's
bonefish.
black. It's a black jersey. Black jerseys
I could
are
wear
always
this.
fan favorites.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You're already ready for it.
That's Saturday, January 31st in the evening.
Again, this is when the Walleye do their specialty jerseys, they auction them off after the game for charity. That event in and of itself is really cool.
Absolutely.
Andy, do you have any? Have you ever bid on or won any of the specialty jerseys?
Yes. I won, well, Greg won, my husband won Thor when they did Thor's. And we did the raffle. They always do a raffle, and whoever wins it gets to pick the first jersey. Whoever.
Cool.
Oh, that's neat.
I think you were doing the bidding that day.
Yeah, I was, and the golden ticket.
The golden ticket Greg
yeah.
got, and he picked Brandon Hawkins' Thor jersey.
Yeah, that's awesome. The golden ticket was a fun. So I kind of learned this at auctions a few years ago, where it's a raffle, and the raffle winner gets to basically steal an auction item. And I mean, the Walleye almost doubled the amount of money they were able to raise for charities. By doing this and
Now you
engaging
fist
more
fight for it?
people. That's right. That's
Okay,
exactly right.
I like it.
They get aggressive.
Yeah.
They
do.
The auctions can get heated, as can the games themselves. But I think it's interesting to me. I mean, again, we talk about the difference between fan bases, right? You worked for the Mud Hens and Walleye for a number of years, and the fan base at the Mud Hens and the fan base at the Walleye are two different levels of connection to the game and the team and the people.
I also think it's the type of game.
That's
you
right.
know, baseball is a different type of game than hockey, and there's just such passion, and for both, it's just shown differently. And I think the support is there. I mean, Toledo loves its Mud Hens just as much as it loves its Walleye. It's just louder at the Walleye.
The kids' games inside the Huntington Center are painful.
Yeah.
Because there's at a Mud Hens game when you do
Painfully
school
delightful.
day. Well, sure. No. It's the energy is great, but it's the nice thing about the kids' game at a Mud Hens is that the screaming
outside.
just goes into
That's the science of it.
into the universe.
Yeah.
And at the Huntington Center, it comes right back down off that ceiling.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of the universe,
Yes.
most importantly, we do love you, Andy, but you did bring us gifts.
Well, only if you got the trivia question right.
So they're for me then.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Before
fine.
we move on to that, I did want to say, in case we got any information incorrect, or you want more information about any of these, you can go to Toledo.com for that full listing.
And every single one of them, Tarda will get you there.
That's right.
So you can check out their routes to find your way to any of these great events across Northwest Ohio.
Now, Andy, these are the gifts that we demand,
Okay.
that we require.
Yes.
So,
lightsaber.
I don't want to
Come on.
hit anybody.
Come on, do it.
There we go. We 3D
Nice.
printed this.
You're kidding me. So
Really?
this is
Yes.
a lightsaber.
It's a Imagination Station special, and to help promote our exhibit that's coming after Tutankhamun, Unofficial Galaxies, and it's, as you can imagine, all Star
That's gonna
Wars.
be-
It's so cool.
Really cool.
I'm so excited. So yes, so that is for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I love Star Wars. Do you have a preference between Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh, Star Wars.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, then me too.
I've never seen it.
You've never
Star
seen
Wars?
any of them?
How cold was it when you grew up in Russia?
Same.
Get out of
I've
town.
also never
What?
watched Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have seen bits and pieces of it. I get some
I'll
of
come to the exhibit, though.
I get some of the references just because of pop culture and it's around.
zeitgeist.
But I have never watched any of the Star Wars movies start to finish.
Andy,
I'm gonna have to give you a private showing or something.
Are you gonna show the movies?
We're gonna. Well, you know, there are 9, and so
not
you could,
in my book.
How many are there in your book?
3.
Oh,
3,
you don't do the prequels or whatever they
no,
are?
I don't know.
Okay.
3, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, and 6.
That's right. That's
Those
exactly
are
all right.
mine
Yeah,
too.
yeah, for
yes,
sure.
4, 5, and 6. Yes, to answer your question, I'm sure we're going to show at least one, if not a trilogy. So that will
have to
be
go to that.
exciting.
Yeah. Well, I love it.
You guys will. They're
I-
so good on the big screen. I mean,
That
it's,
screen would be cool.
it's so
Yeah, for sure.
different.
You don't have to sell Star Wars to these two idiots.
Yeah, no.
It's one of the most popular things that's ever happened. in
My
cinema.
sole reason for not watching it, like it just sort of like happened at one point,
Sure.
and then my brother was a huge Star Wars fan, and it really annoyed him that I hadn't.
So
And
this
at
is
that
just- this is
point,
a family thing.
It was out of spite. So now I'm fully committed that I'm going to watch it at some point with my kids.
This
And
will be
maybe-
a perfect
maybe this is a
opportunity.
opportunity to do it.
Perfect time.
Go through the exhibit and then, come to a movie.
I love it. I love it.
Let's do the quiz.
Oh, that's right.
It's time for Gretchen's
Wacky Quiz.
I'm going to ask you 4 rapid fire questions.
Oh,
Gretchen's
geez.
going to ask you for your favorite thing in the region. And then Matt's going to ask you to describe Toledo in exactly 9 words.
We'll do it together. Don't worry.
All right.
I'll carry you.
Which reality show do you think you could win if you participated?
Oh,
Survivor.
Really? Okay.
I hiked the Appalachian.
She did do that.
I rappelled.
Okay.
I'd probably give no.
What would be the worst flavor of ice cream?
Licorice. Black licorice.
Agreed.
That's a good answer. What's one goal you'd like to accomplish during your lifetime?
Be on this show. Box checked.
Yes, box checked.
Totally.
Killing it.
Your favorite childhood memory?
Aw.
I'm accepting that last one as the answer, by the way.
We're just moving on.
Christmas mornings.
Yeah.
I love it.
God bless you.
What's your number one most favorite thing or best thing about Toledo or the region?
That we live on the water.
Okay.
I heard you say parks. Anyway, all right, 9 words.
Oh, 9 words.
Yeah.
And it's 9 words.
So live by the water. I'm going to give you 3 for that. So we're almost home.
How'd you get 3 out of live by the water?
Live by the water.
Because articles don't count.
Okay.
The people. I've heard you say that before. You love the people.
I do love the people.
All right.
I love the people.
4. Imagination Station. We're going to give you 2 for that. You got 3 more.
I just think living in the Midwest and, that's not 9
So you
words.
just say it.
Go
We
ahead.
got you. Do it.
Yeah. Living in the Midwest along the water where we have great people and a good life.
Love it. That's 9. That's my count is 9.
It's a minimum of 9.
Yeah.
It's like a Star Wars 9.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
That's exactly right.
That's right.
I would never be able to do Colbert because, man, he counts them down.
He does.
That problem solved itself.
Yeah.
They have people making those answers up for them. So
Do they really?
I think so.
She does.
You think? I don't know.
I mean, Andi has her own producer.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, who do you think came up with all the King Tut questions?
She's in bed today.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're so
for being on
welcome.
the
Thank
program.
you.
Let's give it again one more time if people are interested in more information on the King Tut exhibit or the upcoming Star Wars exhibit or just Imagination Station in general.
All the great things happen in its imaginationstationtoledo.org. It's a beautiful website, so come and play on the website and then come play at the Science Center.
And there's great things happening every day, but certainly this weekend, a lot of different opportunities to get out and enjoy the region. We talked about it with Callie on the show this week, be a tourist in your own town. And so get around Toledo and enjoy some of the cool things that are happening.
And it's supposed to be at least 30 degrees this weekend.
I mean, that's going to be a heat wave.
Yeah.
I feel
So
tropical.
You're going to see people.
You won't even need a coat.
Yeah, you'll see people in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yep.
That's not a public service announcement. Everyone just lets you know. Gretchen does not.
We don't do the weather on this show. You don't have to worry about that. And so, of course, all of those events and more available at Toledo.com. You can check out our top 5 events of the weekend. And all of those events driven by Tartar. We appreciate their support of this program, a chance for us to highlight great things happening in the area, especially the work that Andi and the team at Imagination Station are doing. If you missed any portion of our conversation with Andi, you got 3 opportunities every single day to enjoy it. 7 a.m. on WGTE's YouTube channel, 3 p.m. on FM 91, and 6 p.m. on WGTE Connect's channel 30.4. When we come back, we are talking with the Kel Collective. They've got an upcoming dating event.
And friend finding.
And friend finding event, which really, this is really just all about helping Gretchen find friends. So let's see what happens.
That's right.
It's the 419. We'll be right back.
Support for the 419 comes from Witro Wealth Management, where we understand that your financial path is personal. Advisory services are offered through Capital Investment Advisory Services, LLC. Securities offered through Capital Investment Group, Inc. Member FINRA and SIPC. More information at witroadvisors.com.
WorkSpring. HR issues and employee well-being go hand in hand. WorkSpring supports employers through compliance, training, and wellness because healthy workplaces don't happen by accidents. Learn more at workspring.org.
Toledo Refining Company, a subsidiary of PDF Energy. Toledo Refining Company is a supplier of fuels that keep our region moving. Located in Oregon, Ohio, the refinery processes crude oil into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and other petroleum products.
And Tarda, celebrating its 55th year of connecting Northwest Ohioans to their community. More information at tarda.com.
Welcome back into the 419. We're talking about cool things to do in our area. We just went through our top 5, Toledo.com top 5 events of the weekend driven by Tarda. And now we're talking with some new friends of the program, the Kel Collective, Kelsey and Kelly.
Hello.
Thank you for joining
Hi.
us. How did you guys meet?
We met at Toledo Metro Toastmasters about a year and a half ago, October-ish or so.
That's not too long.
What is the Toastmasters?
It is an international organization that specializes in leadership, confidence training, and public speaking. It's been around for about 100 years.
I was going to say, I know, a very long time.
Very long time.
There are multiple chapters within the Toledo area. We are Toledo Metro, so of course, if you are interested, we would want you to come to our chapter in particular. We meet on Fridays. We meet on Fridays at 8 a.m. to about 9:15, the first and third Fridays of each month.
Go ahead.
And eliminating ums and uhs is a big thing for Toastmasters. And I know that Matt loves to pick on Gretchen. What advice do you have for us? Because I know when I listen back to the podcast, like my default breath is an
Yeah.
So I know it happens. What's some advice for making those go away?
I mean, when we're in meetings, we have the counter, so that's what stops me. Is someone's there with a little dinger, ding, ding. Every time you have an a filler word. Yeah, my filler word is so, and that's where I lead in.
So is it the fact that it's a filler word? So what is the training to not have the filler word? You could have the pause.
Correct. There's actually power in the pause.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Are you two naturally outgoing, or is this something you had to sort of build into or coach into?
I would say we're both naturally outgoing, but we're introverts at the same time.
Walk me through that.
Okay, so we definitely get our energy from being at home, having our hibernation. However, we are both two very bubbly, outgoing girls that, we like to have fun.
Yeah, all right.
And so you sort of bonded or started talking about what you describe as the friendship recession, and wanted to do something about that in the Toledo area. So tell us a little bit about what the Kel Collective is and what you're trying to do.
And I want to know what is the friendship recession?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is that?
So there's a trend that at one point in time, people said that there's statistics shown that 3% of individuals did not have a close friend. That has increased actually to 12%. So there is a recession that is happening, and there's also an elimination.
What represents a close friend?
Probably, I would think somebody that you can call, you can confide in, somebody that, whether it's a work colleague, everybody has friends for different purposes as well. Yeah. Yes. So there's a diminishing effect happening with that, and in addition, it says that this friendship recession, this loneliness epidemic that we're having, it's the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's what's happening right now. So,
and it's attributed to technology,
COVID.
What else?
A lack of a third place.
Sure.
Yes. So we actually met at a third place, which has been a salvation for the both of us, I would say. Absolutely.
So a third place could be the gym, Metro Park, someplace where other people are.
Yes.
That you interact with. It could be your church. It could be
Absolutely.
your school. And so it's really interesting as we see the decline of institutions and memberships and clubs. I mean, every board that I'm on talks about the fact, how can we get new members? How can we get people re-engaged? How can we get people back to coming to do stuff in person and thinking that this is important? And so we're seeing that now down to an individual basis with people, it sounds like.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen so many memes. I don't know about you all. I'm just going to stay home and stay in my bed.
Sure. Yeah.
It's so prevalent and so common. So we want to reverse that trend.
What's the plan?
Yeah, so talk to us about the Kel Collective. What is that doing?
Yes, it started...
Other than being a cool name.
Thank you. It started as a wild idea, I think, as many things do. My background's in marketing. I have my own web design business, and Kelly and I, as friends, she proposed to do a singles night out of nowhere.
And here we are.
So you have one planned? Is there a date in mind? No pun intended?
Yes. No, we do have a date. It is February 14th at Inside the Five, Sylvania. 5th floor, technically 2nd. So there are just stairs, no elevator, unfortunately. And tickets, can I go into that?
We can just get to where can people find out about the tickets?
Okay, tickettailor.com or
Cool.
EventPin.
Okay. And so can people expect when they go to the event?
Fantastic curated event by Kelsey.
Yes. So there will be conversation starters around the room that are meant to spark interest in individuals. We have an MC for the night. His name is VC, the MC.
Oh, VC is great.
You know VC.
And everybody knows Vince.
Yes. How do you know?
Because he's the best MC in town.
Agreed.
And he's paid me to say that.
I mean, the name alone.
So give us some tips. This is not something that is easy for most. Public speaking, we could have a whole show about that, right? I think the old adage is you'd rather be in the coffin than do the eulogy at the funeral. So that is a staggering percentage of people that are fearful of public speaking. But just general interaction, right? And I don't want to propose that the apocalypse is upon us from a civilization standpoint, but there's got to be some things that the two of you know to pass on to others in terms of not necessarily dating, but just interaction. What are a few things that people should be conscious of or maybe think of if you're meeting a person for the first time or at a networking event? What are things that you think that people should sort of tune into or be better at?
A couple things that we've actually discussed recently. One, lean into how you feel with it. Two,
Tell me about, what does that mean?
if you're nervous, be nervous. You know, if you need to take a second to breathe and think about what you're going to say next, take a second and breathe.
Yeah.
You know, then
That's
you
good
don't
advice.
have to rush in and get all anxious about what's going to happen. And the best thing is that I know what I'm going to say right now, but you guys don't know what I'm going to say. So just remember that whatever's in your head, whatever insecurities you may have, there's probably likely everyone in the room has the same thing, but they're just thinking, different thoughts. So
I'm going to push back in there. There's no one ever that has as many insecurities in their head as I do. I have actually a small plaque. I have the most insecurities in Northwest Ohio.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I have the plaque.
I think we could go.
Yeah.
We could go, but round and round.
All right.
Matt is ironically proud of that, which I think actually deflates some
I
of
had
the
to turn the plaque back in.
Yeah.
But please keep going. I do think this is helpful.
I don't. Where was I?
I mean, the event is taking place on Valentine's Day,
Yes.
but this is not a dating specific event.
Not necessarily. I mean, it can be. We will have wristbands available so people can differentiate. We want you to be able to dress the way that you want to dress and be able to arrive the way that you want to. So we will have two. So is my filler word, by the way. We will have two wristbands available. One is purple and one is pink. Purple is more so you are available to date, you're interested in that capacity. Pink is you're taken. You're maybe wanting to
lean into the friendships.
Sure. All right. Are you each other's constant? How many times a day do you two talk?
Oh my gosh.
As soon as we wake up to when we go to bed. And then,
love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We became fast friends. We did not know each other. Our life circled the last 20, 30 years. We just met at the Toastmasters, like I said, a year and a half ago, and it was, woo.
Yeah.
We were
Fast
definitely,
buds.
yes, definitely.
Are you both Toledo natives?
Yes.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Savannah.
And I grew up in West Toledo,
Okay.
5 Points, Meadowvale area.
Heck yeah, sure. All right. What are the worst dates you've ever been on?
You have to categorize.
Kelly just gave up on that. She's like,
pulling out a list.
Do you have one?
I believe I'm trying to think, and my dates don't necessarily go terrible because I think I can talk my way through them. I don't know if I've ever had a date where I just kind of noped out of it, but I definitely have noped out shortly afterwards.
Certainly. All right. And also good advice for others.
I mean, are there any common threads to? I mean, I said there's no real bad dates, but like any common threads to those dates where you're like, that's a nope, or quite the opposite, where it's like,
list.
Yeah, I don't know what the ick list is.
Well,
I'm
you've been
probably
married
on
too
it.
long.
I'm probably on it.
You represent it.
That's an ick right there.
Yeah, that's what Kevin and I bring to the show. Yeah, these are mostly do nots.
I guess I'm thinking, outside of coming to your event and meeting somebody, what advice do you have for somebody that's trying to, maybe they're new to town, maybe their life has cycled, and so they're kind of looking to create a new version of themselves. They're trying to build friends. They're trying to, establish a new relationship. What advice do you have for somebody to get started in that path?
I would say therapy is immensely helpful.
Sure.
I had a period of my life where my life was very much out in the open. I received a cancer diagnosis when I was 29 years old.
Goodness gracious.
Yes, and it fundamentally changed everything for me. And with it came a lot of people coming in all sides. And then eventually when I did come back here, I was out in Arizona when it happened.
Okay.
So when I came back here, I realized how much I had changed, and then realized that I was quite socially anxious of all things. Yeah, I became very socially anxious. And it took a couple of years of therapy to work through everything and sort of, I would say, reinvent myself in that regard. Toastmasters was my foray into, I want to be a better public speaker. I want to be able to carry a good message. Another piece of advice I would give on a side note, record yourself talking to just yourself.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It's fantastic. At first it's a little bit awkward. but I say practice.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
that's what makes it perfect. But yeah, for an individual who is trying to reinvent themselves in that regard, lean into the things that make you you, like the hobbies that you love and you grew up with, or maybe that you even lost in time.
Sure.
Yes, get crafty if you want to. I mean, just anything that lights you up inside, because that light will shine and people will gravitate towards
So that being
light.
said, what are two of your hobbies or something that you're into that people might not know?
Event planning.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Always. Have you always been that way? Are you highly organized? Is everything in your house? You're scheduling everything to last.
Yes.
To
Yeah.
the nth
I've
degree?
technically been event planning since I was 14,
Oh my
just
gosh.
because I threw some pretty big ragers the 4 years of high school,
there you go.
where it was the it party
Where'd you
every
go to high
year.
school?
Northview.
Yeah. There you go.
When
All
your
right.
parents were out of town, obviously.
It wasn't my parents, so
Okay.
it was someone else's house.
Even better.
Yeah.
So I just organized it, and they all came.
Yeah. Sure.
The statute of limitations has likely
That's right.
passed
That's right.
on all
Yeah.
of that.
We're not big in
absolutely.
Sylvania anyway, so don't worry.
Yeah, exactly.
How about you?
I enjoy collecting vinyl records.
Yeah. All right.
I have about 150 to 200. At one point I had about 400 when I was out in Arizona.
Sure.
So
What's your most recent pickup that you're juiced about?
a Norwegian copy of Marcos Valle's self-titled album.
That was going to be my guess. That's the one. Yeah.
You knew that was the one.
What are you doing to get the word out about this event on the 14th? How, if someone's mom or aunt or friend is seeing this and they have someone that they think should go, what should you tell them? How can they send someone to your event?
You can go to on Instagram, Kel2Co. That is us. That we have all the information there. We are all over Facebook. We're all over Ticket Tailor, Event Pin. We're kind of all over
Kinda
everything.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've just been posting, and here we
Who's
are.
going to be harder to get there, men or women?
Men.
Why is that?
Men make the decision later to purchase the tickets, from what I've researched and what I understand, and the current trend of how tickets are being purchased at the moment. There are more women that have purchased tickets than men. So they will be the harder ones. And I was going to say, we were recently on Eric Chase's podcast, and we will be featured in The Blade around February 12th.
Cool.
Oh, that's
Look
great.
out for it.
That'll get some guys out
And
there.
Eric is a good guy and friend of the show. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
What-
wonderful.
Yes.
I mean, if there's somebody, so we talked about, where people can find information, but if there's somebody in your life that you're like, I think this would be a good thing for them to go to, how do you broach that conversation with somebody?
If you're my
specifically
mom,
talking about Gretchen.
you just say, "Hey, loser."
She actually sponsored this segment. Brought to you by Gretchen's mom. Here's some life advice. Yeah, that's a great question, though. If you want to nudge a buddy, what's a great way to broach that subject? Or go with them, or what's
Because
your...
I feel like
go with
there's
them.
there's
That's a
some
good
folks that like I think about in my own life that it's like, something's happened, something changed. They were in a long-term relationship that went sour, divorce, whatever, and it's like, all right, you're at this stage. I feel like it might be time for you to like get back out there. How do you appropriately nudge somebody without it being like, hey, loser, time to go do something? Because that's not the case.
Well, yeah, you're brilliant, you're resilient, and you're amazing. So just know that. I mean, I could go through the whole bravery, but we will say that for another time. But it does take being brilliant, resilient, amazing, valuable, extraordinary, real, and just you to practice bravery. And bravery, when you step outside of your comfort zone, that's when life gets exciting. That would be my biggest, hey, come on, do it. And you won't be pressured to do speed dating. You're not going to be pressured into talking to a person that you don't really want to talk to. However, we will have VC say, okay, everybody, if you would like to get out of the conversation, you can, this is your cue.
This is your cue.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
Nice. Because sometimes getting out of it is
Yes.
the hardest
battle.
And we really want to be able to approach everybody who comes. It's really important that nobody feels alone in this, because you could go somewhere and then you could be by yourself, and that's not a good feeling.
It's harder to go the next time then. Right,
yeah.
Right.
One more time, more information on Kel Collective. Where can they find it?
On Instagram at Kel2Co, Facebook Kel2Co as well. Follow us there, and hopefully we will see you at the event. You can also go to EventPin to reserve your tickets.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Kelsey, Kelly, thank you so much. Congratulations
Thank you
on
so
your
much.
new venture.
Nice
Best
to
of
meet you
luck
both.
on Valentine's Day with that event. We appreciate you being here and joining us to talk about it. When we come back, we'll wrap up this Thursday edition of the 419. We'll be right back.
You laughed with us. You learned with us.
Hi, neighbor.
We made sure your childhood was special. Memories that could only be provided by PBS. For generations, we've given you programs that made a difference. Programs that entertain, inform, and inspired. And today is no different. This is WGTE Public Media in Toledo. It's where you belong.
Introducing The Local Thread, a community news series uniting voices and storytellers from across the region. In partnership with La Prensa, the Toledo Free Press, the Sojourner's Truth, Toledo Public Schools, and veteran journalist Jerry Anderson. The Local Thread brings you stories and conversations that connect our community. Hear it weeknights at 7 on FM 91 with early access on podcast platforms each morning. The Local Thread, only on WGTE.
Oh, welcome back into the 419. Powered by WGTE, presented by Witro Wealth Management. We have entirely too much fun on the show, and today is no exception. We were having so much fun with Kel Collective that we did not even get a chance to force them to give us gifts.
That's
but
right.
They did anyway.
They did. Kelly and Kelsey brought us this light that we'll put on our bookshelves. You might not be able to see it that well. It's a heart-shaped light. And then they brought us awesome matchbooks that are branded that say Sparking Conversations and Keeping Parties Lit.
And that was just the first procession of gifts. We got lightsabers from the Imagination Station and some other trinkets. That we can't wait to fill our shelves with. So we only allow guests to come on if they come bearing gifts.
Yeah, we've had a lot of folks on this show, but they don't ever make it to air if they didn't bring us a gift.
That's right. We're 100th episode. Yeah,
That's
over
right.
17 have made it. I will tell you, we're filming a little bit early today, and you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell.
I really enjoyed conversations. Obviously,
they were
there's
darling.
cool things happening at Imagination Station. A very unique event coming there with the King Tut exhibit. So excited about that. We'll get the kids out there, and I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this episode so I can learn the things that I still don't know about King Tut. If you missed any portion of the conversation today, 3 different opportunities to find it on YouTube. WGT's YouTube channel at 7 a.m. on FM 91 in Toledo, Bryan, Defiance, and Lima at 3 p.m. and at 6 p.m. on WGTE Connects channel 30.4. We appreciate you being part of our Toledo.com community calendar driven by Tarda today. And we hope you'll join us tomorrow where we've got a surprise guest. And Matt, it's your surprise guest.
Any hint?
No pressure.
Oh, no hints.
All right. It's the 419, powered by WGTE, presented by Witro Wealth Management. We'll see you tomorrow.
The 419, powered by WGTE, is made possible in part by supporters like you. Thank you.